All right. 95% chance as of recording this update that the Federal Reserve will cut interest rates by 25 BPS according to Polymarket. We'll see what happens as obviously we do go further into Wednesday. Again, it's past midnight here in North America, but as far as the broader market is concerned, I'm sure if you watch some of my recent uploads, you guys know what's going on, but the market is looking really good right now. A lot of coins up 7 to 8% leading into the FOMC meeting. And I know this might come as a surprise because usually, as we are leading into the FOMC meeting, we do see some choppy price action. We do see the volatility, but that is something we have been seeing. That's something a lot of people overlook, but that is something that actually has been happening. So a lot can still end up happening. So again, we got to kind of keep in mind that the next few hours are very important. But if you're looking at the price of XRP, it's currently up about 1.1% on the USD side of things, down about 1.3% on the Bitcoin side of things. Price $2.08, market cap $125.7 billion, and the 24-hour trading volume at about 3.7 billion. As always, just a quick disclaimer, anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in crypto. So, Hunter, who is, of course, the CEO of Bitwise, says 4-year cycle is no longer valid. The market has changed, it has matured. And I totally agree with that statement. The market has definitely matured compared to, what it was a few years back. We will look back on 2025 and realize that it has been a bear market since February. And I totally agree. We have seen a few, swings here and there. Obviously, April was the low. And then after that, we did see that uptick. And then, after a few months, I think it would last like 2, 3 months at most, and then pretty much more choppiness. But altcoins, in a broader perspective, have been in a downwards trajectory pretty much since the beginning of the year. So, according to him, everything is lining up for a massive 2026. It's stunning. And there has been some big news that we've been obviously covering on the channel. There's so much positive things coming out that I think it's not having a big impact on the market itself. And that should just tell you the overall market sentiment that we're currently experiencing. But with that said, take a look at this ETF numbers today. Well, not today, yesterday, all four, obviously the ones we are kind of keeping track of, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XRP, all four saw inflows. XRP only at 8.73%. And I know this might catch a lot of people by surprise. Why is XRP only seeing 8.73 million in inflows while the likes of Solana, Ethereum, Bitcoin are, leading the way right now? Just ask yourself, while we were seeing outflows for Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana over the course of the last few days, what was happening with XRP? XRP consecutively been seeing positive inflows, and it's not been small numbers. It's been quite large amounts of inflows that are coming in on the ETF side of things. So now it's kind of balancing itself out, as you can see for yourself. Some of these other, ETFs that weren't really gaining a lot of attention or inflows are, outpacing some of the ones that have been, which again in this case is XRP. But still, as of now, the streak has not ended. The streak is still going on. And, it's been, I think, 17 consecutive or 18 consecutive days at this point almost that we have seen positive inflow. So that's that for the ETF numbers. Moving forward, take a look at this. Banks just got the green light to trade crypto directly. So, according to the OCC official, document, they have confirmed that the national banks can legally engage in riskless principal crypto transactions. So, pretty much in plain English, a bank can buy Bitcoin or any crypto from one customer and immediately sell it to another customer, acting as the middleman without ever holding the crypto on its own balance sheet, just like a broker. This removes a massive gray area that has, pretty much stopped the banks from entering into crypto. But now with the regulatory clarity coming in, and them getting the green light from the regulators, you could really see how much has been happening. And I think 2026 is shaping to be a big year, and a lot of people kind of undermine the year of 2025. The amount of positive things that have happened for the space, I think it's overlooked because of course the prices of a lot of altcoins haven't performed good. But If you had it, like I said, I've made the statement so many times. If you had a good diversified portfolio from 2022, 2023, reason why I always say 2022 specifically and 2023, these are bear market cycle levels, and anyone that accumulated then, still ended up doing quite well for themselves. So that is that. But let me know in the comments what you guys think. But the biggest news out of all, in my opinion, is this right here: the Bitwise 10 crypto index, which again is a ticker is BITW, begins trading on the New York Stock Exchange ARCA as an exchange traded product. But look at what it consists of. This is very, very important to keep an eye out for. Bitcoin making up the biggest chunk of this, index. Ethereum, 15.55%. What is number three? XRP at 5.17%. But look at it. There's a lot of other coins: Cardano, Solana, Chainlink, Litecoin, Sui, Avalanche, Polkadot. And now, people that don't understand crypto, but that still want exposure to crypto, don't really want to do self custody, now can buy this index, and that can pretty much have access and, pretty much in a way, exposure to all these coins that are listed in here. This is such a revolutionary moment that we're witnessing, because this right here is not like a product that's been in the market for quite some time. Yes, on the traditional market side, this is a very popular thing, but for crypto, this is the first ever crypto index that has gone live. So people can get easy exposure to a lot of coins just in one basket. And I think this is going to be a big product for Bitwise. And speaking about Bitwise, Bitwise leading the way. Again, just with the ETF filings and now with this index, I think this is just being overlooked right now. But as time goes by, we're really gonna understand, how big of a deal this really is. But let me know in the comments what you guys think about this. But a lot of people in the market are excited. And I totally agree with what Nate Garcia says. Less than 2 years ago, spot Bitcoin didn't even have ETFs, because, of course, Gary Gensler's SEC was preventing everything from happening. I'm sorry, he was pretty much preventing from the Bitcoin ETFs to come on the market. And now, you could actually invest in ETF basket of 10 crypto assets, which I've just obviously highlighted to you guys. And this is what crypto going mainstream pretty much looks like. And yeah, here we have it. Let's take a look at what is happening with the prices. So, dominance, again, like I said, if you watch some of my recent updates, you guys know what's going on. But the dominance was able to break below the key support line. We came down to 58.99%. Again, a level that I've been speaking about in every single update of mine pretty much since the 27th of November. And we did break below it. And that is a huge reason why we did see a lot of altcoins going up. Of course, Bitcoin breaking out was a big deal as well. But the dominance, pulling down has given altcoins more of a room to breathe. And then we can really feel that. Bitcoin, on the other hand, still holding within the point 50 as we are going into the FOMC meeting. Really, really impressive price action for Bitcoin. Most importantly, the fact that it was able to reach a new monthly high in 94.5. And again, like I said, we could still see some choppiness, like I said, in the next few hours to come, but we're still within the point 50. We'll see what happens after, the meeting itself. But looking at the price of XRP, you could see for yourself, XRP price did react also in a very positive way to Bitcoin breaking out into a new monthly high. XRP price went up to $2.17, right exactly at the resistance that is very familiar to the Crypto ZX family. You got rejected at that range. I think we wouldn't have seen this retracement if it weren't for Bitcoin. But the fact that we revisited that price point pretty much since early December is very impressive. And again, we've only seen a retracement of about 4%. So slow but steady, but primarily where I would like to see the price of XRP is within the 38.2, because last time we were above that was back on November 13th, so about a month back. But I think that is a realistic target to be aiming for. That's only a move of about 13.5%. Like I said, if we are able to break out of this $2.18 key resistance, I think, this is a clear way for us to kind of keep in mind that this is a realistic level to be looking forward to in the next, few days to come, especially if Bitcoin is able to break out as well and dominance continues to show weakness. That's very important to also keep in mind. But let me know in the comments what you guys think as to what's going on and share your personal thoughts. As always, make sure you are subscribed to the channel and your bell icon is on so you're notified every time we upload. We'll see you later in Crypto ZX and peace.